Hey, I'm JC, this is JC's Carport, and this episode got a couple of things going on. Well, for one, I'm trying to get 13 seconds out of this Fairlane. Currently got 14.5 on the quarter mile. Which I know is not groundbreaking, but it's got a 277 rear end in it. So I want to try and crack 13s, and then we've got a set of 3.5s to go on the 9-inch. And then see how much of a gain I can get from there, sort of thing. So that's the deal. But there's a couple of things to do first. I've sort of bodged up the drive shaft, which I don't like. I have had a couple of runs, but I don't like doing it too much because it's dodgy, as I'll show you that when we pull it out. I've got these bits and pieces here, uni joints, drive shaft to fix properly, to get some get a bit more bite. I've only got like I'll show you now anyway, but I've only got like half the uni sort of in the actual yoke because I had to cobble it up for the C4. So get that sorted. Then the other one is the dash tacho, or the GS tacho dash. Tacho's sort of cutting it out, and it always seems to cut out right at the right when you're sort of looking at it. So I'm going to have to fix it, which I will fix it one day. But I also wanted a shift light, so I'm just going to mount this on the steering wheel. It's just a cheapy, discreet, small sort of tacho, so hopefully it won't stick out too much. That'll be in. Got to adjust the carby. I need a bit more fuel. I think it's run a bit lean. So yeah, we'll tackle all that and get this rig ready for a couple of good runs, especially now it's middle of winter, so it's cold. So I want to try and do that before summer hits. Yeah, so we get stuck into that. The other bit of news is I've got some wheels turned up for the Fairlane. So here's the big reveal. Boom! Look at that. A couple of guys from Aussie Tyres hooked a brother up there. Pretty good. I like them. Wheel nut kit, stickers. Came with a fuel card as well. Yeah. So really good there. Happy with the turnout. So we'll get these on the Fairlane, have a bit of a look, see what it looks like. Alright, cool, we'll get into it. Oops. Alright, so ready to get these wheels sorted out. But of course, here we go. Yeah, gonna say I've lost me bloody thing. I've already cracked most of the wheel brace. Whoops. Let's see how we go here. Nice. Looking pretty good. Oops. Come with this little sort of, I don't know, wheel lock nut I suppose, or mag sort of lock nut. Hopefully I can just bust these on, bugger about that. Oops. Oh, hang on. Comes with a yeah, it's got a hub ring which I left out. I'm gonna chuck that on. Never actually used hub rings before. I don't know what they're all about, but anyway. I mean, the nuts are supposed to center on the actual hub. I thought, because they got the bevel bizzo, but anyway. Right. There we go. Alright, cool. Well, alright, looking pretty good. I'll do that 4 more times. 3 more times. We'll I'll have a bit of a sticky beak, see what it looks like. Okay, so I got those wheels fitted. Let's have a bit of a look. What do we reckon? Fully sick, bro. Pretty cool, huh? Dang, man, I think that's pretty good. I'll back this rig out and we'll get on the lawn and we'll get a better look at it. Yeah, it looks pretty good, huh? I think it looks awesome. Yeah, obviously a bit more work to do, but yeah, no, I think those wheels look pretty good. Alright, sweet, as we get this thing put away, and we'll rip into the other rig with this dry shaft and taco. Alright, so I got the car jacked up, got that drive shaft undone. Just going to go in there with a bit of tape and a screwdriver, just try and pry that loose, and then see if I'm going to lose transmission fluid. I've got it on a bit of an angle, so it might be alright, but we'll have a bit of a look. I was going to try and stand it up on this water container. Well, prop it up on the water container so it doesn't just fall. Oops, like that. So I can just, without dropping the caps, I suppose. Oh yeah, it's not too bad. Cool. Oh. Right, cool. They can come out. Get some tape on that. Because I think these, yeah, this part's all good. It's only that So that gearbox end where I've packed it up with washers and doesn't really, well, for my money, doesn't really have enough engagement, you know what I mean? So of course that's all greasy and won't stick. Hopefully it'll go around and stick to itself. Probably not. Probably completely missed it. Yep. Righto. Try and get a bit of a better view. See if the oil's going to pour out everywhere. Yeah, that's pretty good. Cool. Alright, I'll get this out of here and we'll start belting the shit out of these. Seems like it's. Alright, so here's the drive shaft. So you can see already there. See, most of this universal joint really actually isn't actually in the yoke. Most of it's sort of out of the yoke. And so I packed it up with washers to get it to work. I put it in and went for a drive, and it had this vibration, and that was due to it not being central. So I had to readjust it, which I did. As soon as I can get this out, we'll be right. There we go. Yeah, so you can sort of see in there, there's not a whole lot of engagement between the uni caps and the actual yoke. So I was a bit worried about that flying to bits under big loads. So yeah, so we'll set that right. So I'll go and get a hammer and stuff, socket, and we'll start belting that out and go for our replacement bits and pieces. Yeah. Alright, so I got things apart here. That's the original yoke. This is the new one, well, the second hand one. So what I'll do, I've run into a bit of an issue with the new drive shaft. So if there's any Fairlane experts out there, which I certainly am not one, when you look at these two drive shafts, there's an inch difference in the length here. So I don't know, I have rung where I bought it from. They're looking into it. I do have a wagon drive shaft from a aluminium wagon one from a BA, which I've measured up, and does actually measure the same length as the one they've sent. So I'm sort of wondering if the difference, because I reckon the Fairlane and the wagons are the same, so sort of wondering if the difference may be there's FMX only drive shaft that's, you know, longer for the FMX, and then you get a slightly shorter one for the C4 cars, or it could be the Borg diff cars. That's obviously a 9-inch diff car with a factory Clevo in it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and mock it back in the car, mock it up, not hammer it all back together again, just mock it up, take some measurements and see what I can do with it all. I won't bore you with that process. I'll just get it all back in, get it so I can measure it, and I'll bring this back in for that one. Alright, cool. Righto, so it's hours later. As you can probably tell, there's broken universal joints, needle bearings, seals, bits and pieces everywhere. But after countless tantrums, countless fucking swear words, we've got it. So, not packed with washers. Yeah, it's a goer. So, yeah, we'll put that back in and never talk about drive shafts again. Righto, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll tackle the taco. Alright, so it's a week or so later, work and whatnot, getting in the way, but so I went ahead and ordered a Gilmore Drive kit after the parade with Mick. So it turned up in the recently, so I thought, well, while we're here, we'll go ahead and put that on. So I've gone ahead and put the bottom pulley on off camera. I just wanted to, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to reuse one of the belts I had, or if I was going to have to order one, so it would have taken 2 weeks to get here. So I've only just got 2 bolts in that now, just to get this to in situ to see if I could use what I had. Did that, then found out that this had to get shimmed out to line it up. So that's looking good now for the way lining goes, and then I can use one of my existing belts, so that's a bit of good news. Yeah, I've got to pull this fan shroud off to get to everything. The problem is that the plugs are right down there and I can't really get to them, but I'll have to figure that out. I'll do that off camera. The other one was too, I loosened up the alternator. I wasn't sure how that sort of went to fit, so for anyone who's curious, you probably meant to do it out off the car, but I've re-loosened this off. You just undo your nut there. I didn't have too much trouble. I just put a screwdriver in the fan and with a bit of tape on it so it didn't damage anything. And then basically the whole thing, which I thought I might have made pause and stuff, but the whole thing just try to do it on that washer. Yeah, so the whole thing, the pulley just slides right off. I thought it might have been pressed on with a pulley and stuff. I would have had to use a puller, but and then your little alternator fan just comes right off like that. So yeah, then you're just left with that shaft there. Then obviously I'm going to have to get this on there, which I'm going to take this fan shroud off to do. So yeah, that's the story on that one. So we'll get this on. Pretty keen to hear it run with that on. Yeah, basically it. So we'll get that done and then we'll get on and get this, get that tack installed with the wiring in the car. Hopefully, haven't run any extra wires. Yeah, alright, well I'll get this radiator out, this fan shroud out, and we'll do up those bottom bolts, install the 2 pulleys here, and we'll see how we're looking for. Well, I'll do a mock-up to see how the belt sits. Yeah, make sure it sits evenly. Yeah. Alright, cool, let's get into it. Alright, so I got that fan shroud out. It's too big. What's going on there? That was the size that I used to come up with. It's almost like it's too big, or the angle. Huh. 5/16 isn't 5/16. No, that's really odd. That's a 5/16 Allen key with a 5/16 socket. The socket doesn't go in, but unless it's just a clearance issue. No, I was going to just use this Allen key anyway, so we'll just use that. Try not to damage the radiator while we're going. Oh, that's working. Alright, so I'll go along and tighten those up. I won't bore you with all this, it's probably going to be quite painful. We'll get this bottom one tightened up to where it should be, then we can go up top and we'll start doing those other pulleys on the alternator and the water pump. Alright, so I got those done up. There's just those 4 Allen keys there, nice and tight. Tight as I could with what I had anyway. I don't know, I can't understand why that wouldn't go. I think that's the same size, it seems to clear the outside of the pulley, so the ring of the pulley, but yeah, I don't know. It's 5/16, same as the same size as the Allen key, but yeah, anyway. Not to worry, but that's sorted out. I'll try and get that pulley, that alternator pulley in situ. We'll have a bit of a look at that. So that goes on there like that. And then this goes on here like that. And then this. Goes on there like so.
No, I was always either car parts or tattoos, and I'm like, I'll have more car parts.
Alright, so I'll get a spanner in there and get that done up. Yeah. Alright, sweet. I might start undoing this. And then we can look at see where that sits in relation to where the belt's going to go. Yeah, whether I've got to space it out with these washers or whether it can go in far enough or too far. We'll have a bit of a look, see how it all sits. Alright, so I've just stuck a, it's got a bit of tape on the end of it there, just a spark plug spanner. I'll go in here and see if we can do this up. Oops, just got to be so careful of that radiator core. There's potential that this could spin on the shaft and not tighten up, which that's what it's doing, I think. Yeah, that's not going to tighten up. Bugger. Alright, I might have to go and the real thing to do this with is the rattle gun, because the torque's been so quick and it sort of beats the alternator to spinning and tightens up, but I can feel that's just turning the whole shaft inside the pulley and the fan there, so going to come up with a better plan there, unfortunately. We'll do this water pump, then I'll come up. The blokes have to rattle gun out the front for me, so I'll go and grab that. I think I'm going to have to pull that alternator out, obviously, which is a pain in the backside, but anyway, here's what it is. Alright, cool, we'll get on to this water pump pulley. Alright, so I'll just crack these off with a screwdriver and a 1/2 inch. Yeah. All right. Alrighty. Alright, so let's have a look and see how we're looking for whether I've got a space out or not. Well, it looks pretty good. Let's just throw this belt in situ and alright, well that's really good. I think we can roll with that. No need to space it, that's right in the middle there. It does come with hardware. I'll go and get the hardware. A couple of Allen keys there. Just got to try and that's going to be quite a challenge actually. I don't know which oh, look at that, straight in. Cool. All right. Well, I'll find a Allen key to nip that up with. I'll pull that alternator off. Gonna have to disconnect the wires and stuff, and we'll try and get that tightened up. All right, I'll bring this back in when it comes to tighten up that alternator pulley. All right, so I've got alternators out, nut and bolts in there. I've borrowed Lyle's one instead. I'll catch a change fitting on the other one. I'll just grab this and give it a I reckon that's pretty good. Yeah, I think that'll be right, I think. Alright, that's all nice and tight, I reckon. There's no moving that now. Yeah. I'll get this, I'll give this a bit of a clean up while it's out, and we'll get this back in the car. Yeah, we can start putting that belt on and tighten her up. Alright, I hope you can see that alright. Just at the stage of adjusting at the belt's on. So, the story here is, hang on a minute, step one is lose the spanner. I'll be right back. Alright, so what you want to do here is do it up with a tension wrench and have it as tight as you possibly can get it. That way you get the most sound out of it, and you can spend your afternoons changing out alternator bearings every other week. No, so what you want to have is, I think you want to be able to turn the longest length 90 degrees with a Gilmore belt, which is, it's a bit hard to see, but that's about that. Yeah, so they actually go quite loose, which is how they are. Yeah, so I'm just going to roll with that. I'm happy with that. I can't get it past 90 degrees. It's sort of barely at 90 degrees. So yeah, that'll do that for adjustment on there. You can always do it more if need be. Righto. Get a couple of spanners on that. Yep. So that should also be 14. See if a 9/16 will go on there. Yep. If I can just do up one side, the other side will be right. Yeah, that's an odd size, that one, for some reason. Well, look, I'll get that tightened up a little, boys, with all that. Yeah, that for some reason, that one nut there is in between the 9/16 and a 14 and a 15, and yeah, you can do anything to go on there. So I'll have to probably round that off even more with a pair of shifting spanner or something. But alright, yeah, I'll get that tightened up, and we'll start putting the fans and stuff back in. Alright, so that's basically in. Yeah, that's how it's meant to be from what I'm reading, so quite loose. Yeah. Right, well, I'll get these fans back in. I won't film it because it's a pain in the arse. It's very awkward to get them in. It's a very frustrating job. So we'll get those in, we'll get them connected up. Then we'll go and get this taco wired in. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, so just I'm going to start this wiring on this taco. So I've got a couple of hose clamps here. Get that untangled. I'm just going to go around a column. Got a bit of insulation which I'll just put through the which I'll put around the hose clamp there, and that'll just stop me knurling up the steering column there. But I can use this smaller one or that big one, which I can either I can trim it down, so that's all good. Wiring wise, so yeah, wouldn't you believe it. I'll put you in there. So yeah, so you'll see this grey wire comes out of the back of the ICE ECU there, and then this white wire, which for some reason I've trimmed the grey wire, which is the taco wire, and left the white wire. So what I need to do is trim that. So I'm going to trim that. Might be able to use it for some of the white wire to run up to the steering column here. The other one is so I'm going to take some power and whatnot. I've just got to establish which is which here. One will be power, one will be ignition, and that's all I really need. There's no separate light wire for this particular taco, so just sort of, I've only got a white wire for the battery, red wire for the ignition, green wire for the RPM signal, and then black wire for ground. So there's no actual separate light wire, so the lights have to be always on, which is no problem, which is probably a good thing really. Saves another bit of wiring to do. I'll trim that white wire and that Allen key, that cable tie, and we'll extend this grey wire. Yeah, we'll get into it. Alright, well, it's the next day. I've got that tacho mounted up where I want it. Shift lights in situ, plugged in at the back there. Just got to do the wiring down here, and give it a run. I've readjusted that Gilmore belt. I'll give you a look at that directly. It doesn't make any noise at all, and then I tightened it up and it still doesn't make any noise, so I've just backed it off again, and yeah, it's just not a noisy Gilmore drive, which is a good thing really. So yeah, we'll have a bit of a look at that. Get this wired up and then see if we can hit the road and chase 13 seconds, I suppose. Yeah. Alright, I'll get this wiring done, bring you back in when it's done, and we'll have a look at this tacho and colours and see how it looks when it works. Alright, so just got top of that carby off. There's a bit of crud on the bowls there. It's really fine stuff. It's coming out of the tank. It's in the filter there as well, but yeah, I should really try and get that out, I suppose. I'll give it a bit of a clean up before I put it back together. Yeah, jet's just in there, but hard to see. Yeah, there it is. So there's 4 13s in there now. I'm going to put 4 16s in, and I'm going to go down in rod size, so it'll give it even a bit more. I did sort of pull a plug out before. Yeah, very white, grey. So yeah, I'm going to try and get some more fuel into the system. Might just pull a back one out too, just to have a look what the size there is. Quite hard to get out. I'll try a bit of wire. I'll see if I can fish that out. Alright, so I'm just got that tacho done. I'm just going to mix up this mixture. So I'm just going to take this carburetor off. We've got a couple of jets and a couple of needles to go in, or metering rods, and we'll see how we go from there. Yeah. Probably forgotten one somewhere. I feel like I must have, I don't know. Not one in there. Not one in there. Oh, I wonder if that yeah, might have to undo this. I'll find out what's holding this down, because that should be all I'm done for my money. So it should just come off. But anyway, I'll get that off and bring this back in. Alright, so I got that sorted out. So there was 407s in the back, so I'm going to a 413, which is what the stage 3, well, the stage 3 recommends 414, but I've only got 416. We've only got 2 of those, which I'm putting in the front, so the 413s will be fine at the back. still be a vast improvement over the 407. Okay, cool. Little gate thingy here. Cool. Pretty sure I've got that out. Oh, cool. Righto, going in with that 416 now. Righto, that should be all good. Well, we'll get that car a bit of a clean out, put it all back together again, and we'll wheel her out and fire her up. Do a test lap around town sort of scenario, make sure this Gilmer drive's up to go, good to go, and yeah, see how we go. Alright, so carby's back on, everything's back together. We'll get her in the guts and have a look at this tack. It's got the old green hop, which is pretty cool. Oh yeah, I'll have to pump some fuel. Shouldn't I? I will do that actually, yeah. Alright, looking pretty good, it's working. Yeah, I set that shift light pretty low just to suss it out. That tack's not going to work. so interesting turnout. I just pulled up the driveway, and there's always, when you're scraping noise, I always thought it was there's a big rubber flap under there just behind the diff. I always thought it was just that scraping on the way up, but I've gone up and it's done the usual scraping and it's just gone bang, and obviously the tyres let go. So I've had a look underneath. Yeah, so I've had a look underneath, and you can probably see without the light, but there's two bolt heads there, little bolts sticking out, that all the while have been, that's what the noise has been, it's been rubbing on the there's the hole in the tyre. So yeah, yeah, I'm going to have to pull a spare from somewhere. But yeah, I don't even know what they're there for. I mean, to be honest with you, they go into the boot, which I'll show you. But I've got no idea what they're actually achieving. Unless anybody else got any ideas, but yeah, and they're on both sides. So there's the there they are there, on both sides. The other side's all scraped up and probably lucky it hasn't gone flat too. So that's put a spanner in the works. I don't have well, I've got the tyres on this. They're what are they? 235 60 15, which these are a 255 60 15. Probably just change those tyres over, I suppose, would be the go. But yeah, fun and games, just driving up the driveway and bang. Well, I'll get that fixed. So we get some tyres changed over and we'll have a go at this 13 second down the track. Alright, catch up.